We have a quorum. Minutes are there for your approval.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, so moved. Mr. Johnson, is the agenda okay?
Ready for your approval, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, sir. Move right down. There's no presentation. Consent agenda. We'll move into the debate agenda. The first item, Slaughter.
Thank you, sir. The first one I have for you is acceptance of improvements for Misty Meadows Phase 1. This is located off of William F. Parkway, close to the intersection of Baker Place. They're looking to deed over the road, the storm, water, and sewer systems along the right-of-way and easements associated with those improvements. They are keeping ownership of detention ponds 1 and 3 shown on the plat. Do have clear language in this deed about the maintenance, and it does tell them that the homeowner association, if deeded to the homeowners association, will be responsible for that as well. That's a concern that Commissioner Richardson's had. That is in there. I will point out that there is a deed in here, an encroachment agreement in here to allow them to have some irrigation, some planting in our right-of-way. The title is correct, however, some language is wrong with names in it. So I ask that you move this to debate so that by next Tuesday we can have the correct names in that encroachment agreement. Do that for me.
Move to debate.
Second.
So moved. Thank you, sir. Moving on to item B1, beverage license, alcohol license, sir.
All right, the first item we have is alcohol beverage license for Manship of Enterprise LLC, doing business as Toast Wine and Beverage. Manship of Enterprise LLC, Toast Wine and Beverage, apply for an alcohol beverage license to sell beer, wine, and distilled spirits for off-premise consumption at 417 Furious Ferry Road. The applicant has provided all the required information and posted the property, and there's no known opposition to this, and then it's an ongoing business, no requirement for the site survey, so staff recommends approval of the license.
Does this guy own another liquor store as well?
Now, this was one that was turned down that was going to go right beside the Walgreens there, that very popular intersection.
Oh, okay, so they just
Yes.
moved up and bought Toast. Okay,
So
okay, I knew I recognized.
that would a much more prime location, I feel like, so.
Second.
All right, and the next one we have is alcohol beverage license for the J.K. and Evans LLC, doing business as Chef J.K. Korean Barbecue Master. J.K. Enterprise in Evans has applied for an alcohol beverage license to beer, wine, and distilled spirit for on-premise consumption from 4437 Washington Road. They have applied for, gotten us all the required information, and notice has been posted. No known opposition. This is an ongoing business. They're just adding distilled spirit. So staff recommends approval for the license May 2nd BOC meeting.
Second.
Thank you, sir. Motion carries. Next, we'll move on, planning services, some encroachment agreements.
All right, I got 3 encroachment agreements for you. The first one is at 2055 Egret Circle. There is a request to allow a residence to encroach into the 20-foot rear. There's a sewer easement back there. Actually, the next one is the adjacent property, but as you see in the attachments provided to you, it's just a very narrow, in terms of depth, lot, and so they're asking for a little bit of an encroachment. Staff's reviewed it, doesn't have any concerns, so the staff recommends that you approve the request for the encroachment into the existing rear easement.
Move to consent.
Second.
Motion carries. Next item, sir.
All right, the second one is an easement encroachment for 2059 Egret Circle. That is the adjacent property. Same issues here. Again, rear easement, sewer easement is in the back of these lots. Depth is kind of an issue. So staff has reviewed it and is okay with the encroachments, and so staff is recommending approval of the easement encroachment agreement.
These are the apartments at River Island, is that correct?
It's not the apartments. It's, these are the single-family homes, but it is in River Island.
Second.
Motion carries. Next item, sir.
All right. The final one, final easement encroachment agreement is for 825 Nuttall Street. That is in River Oaks, off of Hardy Mac. Again, there's a drainage and utility easement And they want to build a pool with a pool deck, and that pool deck would then partially encroach into the easement. Again, staff has reviewed that, has no concerns with the pool deck encroachment. So therefore, staff is recommending approval of the requested easement encroachment agreement for the rear drainage and utility easement.
And the homeowner fully understands if we need to go back for any reason.
Yep, that's part of the agreement.
Move to consent.
Read that.
Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Let's move on to reports.
First.
Oh, I'm sorry. Any legal matters? Thank you, sir. All right, go ahead.
All right. Included for information only is the March 23 Planning Department Workload Measurement Monthly Report. To answer any questions you have.
Questions? Okay, let's move on, sir.
All right. Also included for information only is the February 23 Plan Review Workload Measurement Monthly Report. And I'd be happy to answer any question you have on that.
Questions? Okay, let's move on to the division monthly reports.
All right, the first one we have is the March 2022, 2023 Development Services Report, and a copy of that report is attached for your information. No further action is required. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to address those.
Permits are less than half.
Right, talking with many of the builders, Preston and I reached out to a good bit of them. A lot of those gentlemen are having a hard time getting transformers and stuff in, so they're hard pressed getting utilities into these developments. Therefore, they're not as apt to put stuff on the ground that they can't get power to. Holding off on that until things get better with trying to get utilities into these developments.
So Georgia Power.
Primarily.
Yeah. Jefferson Electric.
Last word I heard was 18-month wait time on transformers to bring power to neighborhoods.
Some of the transformers they get aren't the right size, so it doesn't do them any good to drop them off.
Questions?
Sure.
All right, let's move on.
All right, the next one we have is March 2023 Development Services Financial Report, and as Ms. Reese stated earlier, everything's moving as it should be. No further action is required.
Any questions?
No, sir.
All right, sir.
All right, last one we have is temporary alcohol event permits, and a copy of that already entered in there, so no actions required on that.
Any questions on those?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir. Nothing for executive session. Any comments from commissioners or the public? All right, none being said, we'll adjourn at 8:49. Thank you.